Inochonu Saham Mahan. Inochun Yikushnoin Drachat Zelahi Drachbadat Sedachat. Did anyone get what I spoke? I chanted, a wide-eyed boy of 12, gazing out at the night skies of a new millennium, the dawn of a whole new world, outside and within. I'd spoken mostly to myself in this surreal gibberish since the age of 5. In that moment, I had fallen in love with the mystery of the world, the mystery I was to be. I started speaking this language, as I told, since I was 5. I did not know what I was speaking. When I grew up, I started backtracking my language. And now it is a 7,000 words language called Sat. Sat. So S-A-T-T. So in English, it would be S-A-T-T. I write in this language, I hum in this language, I sing in this language. And this is only one of the gifts my disability has given me. I'm a dyslexic, dyspraxic, and a synesthetic. Dyslexia and dyspraxia you must have you've come across. It is a learning disorder. Dyslexia and dyspraxia is a motor movements disorder. Synesthesia is a condition in which you mix the 5 senses. I was blessed, as Diego said, we are blessed with our disabilities. And that's why the talk that I'm presenting before you is called The Rise of the Superhumans. I always believed one needn't be handicapped to be different. Everybody in this world is different. That would mean a world full of handicapped, disabled, specially abled humans keeping themselves off the red line of societal abandonment, only christening others as one. I was always a rebel, forcing my way in. But childhood was an altogether different ballgame. After years of cold stares, routine underperformance, and social inelasticity, I eventually figured out that I was no good to the machinery of this world, and somehow not required. I felt one with that dropped valency of chemical compounds, numbers post the 3rd decimal place, that tiny appendix in your gut, waiting to be of use, but instead only making itself heard as a painful rebel because the system no more acknowledged its worth. Be it by evolutionary accident or intelligent design, the wish to exist is a human trait, and I am wired to be a superhuman. Since I was diagnosed in my childhood, my IQ level was below 40, technically an idiot or a moron, I don't know what definitions call it. So, I was called Pagal, you are mad. So I embraced my madness and became the madman at a very early age after the death of my father at the age of 12. I became the madman since then. And I believe that madness is my religion and my philosophy because it is the only thing that does not hold its love back. It does not have any constrictions, any boundaries. पागलपन की क्या बाउंड्री है? जितना चाहो प्यार करो. Madness has no boundaries. Madness has no, preconceived notions or stereotypes. And that is why I think color black is my favorite. Accepts everything. You love me or spit on me, I'll be black. So that's why I am the madman and I represent Livemad Foundation. My foundation works into 3 sectors: education, social ventures, and innovation. So I accepted myself and became the madman. So I was not normal, so I decided to become everything else. I'll repeat again. I was not normal, so I decided to become everything else. Through this time, I developed a 7,000 plus word lexicon language, invented world's most affordable self-defense device called Shakti. It is a whistle with a GPS device and a pepper spray. Anytime anyone is in problem, whistle thrice, the GPS device would act as a beacon, and if someone attacks, just use the pepper spray. It's only 14 rupees. So that would be like what, 10 cents? I don't know what would be the US thing, but then it's 14 rupees. It's very, very affordable. I developed psyche art, a unique form of art that portrays a person's soul. I teach madness as a subject with some of the best institutes in India. Where they do not want madness, I call it alternative intelligence. I work on alternative intelligence and help people harness their untapped grey cells. I'm writing 4 books altogether. I answer social evils through social entrepreneurship by building business models that transform. So I look at any kind of social evil that can be, child abuse, that can be domestic abuse, that can be drug abuse, tribal rehabilitation in areas that are affected by any kind of violent movement. So I go into these areas, look at those social evils, and then start developing sustainable business models. Because I don't believe in waving black flags, putting on Facebook black posts, and walking with candles. I believe in hope. I believe that what people need is hope to change themselves. Not activism, but actionism. So till now, I have around 37 clusters across India, which are answering 18 types of social evils. And each business has not started with more than 500 rupees. So I earn from whatever gigs I do, and then with 500 rupees I would start an agarbatti factory or an achar factory or a art company or whatnot with only 500 rupees. So to bring a change, to make a change happen, you do not need money. You need a lot of hope and madness, because madness lets you transform. So in a red light area in a capital city of India, I started a startup called as Folk Roots. So that is an agarbatti. So if I give you, agarbatti is incense sticks. So if I give you classic incense sticks, how much would you buy it for? 20 bucks, 25? If I give you Folk Roots, how much you buy it for? 100. And that is how we transform, by bringing a lot of value and worth to their talents. Slowly and steadily, and this is my life. I taste the sky, I smell the sun, I see music, I listen to the fragrance of flowers, and I feel the world around. 1,000 different stimuli in one single second. And this is the beauty of synesthesia. When I was small, I would tell Mama, this man looks like curd. You like curd? And she was not able to understand, what I was talking about. So somehow my senses were jiggling and they were, firing up. At this particular moment, I've made myself accustomed to the lightings and the colors of this auditorium. Ma'am's dress is very, very beautiful. Red is my favorite color. You are inspiring me. My senses, ma'am. And each color has a music. Each music has a color. Each smell has a visual. And they call me moron. Let's talk about disability. Think about this word disability after removing every kind of notion that you have had till now. Yeah? You have come to this conference, this Kolkata Talks, with some kind of notion and understanding about disability. Right? Now, let's break it. I want everyone to break up the concept of disability. See, the body is made up of organs, isn't it? Yes? Are you with me, everyone? Yes. Yeah? So the body is made up of organs, yeah? Vital and non-vital. Now, an impediment in the basic necessary functionality in any of one of them is called disability, yeah? basic necessary functionality. Yeah, that is what, what is termed as disability. Now, head is also an organ. Don't you realize? The normal human brain, with half of the world not using it, I wonder who is disabled. Isn't it? And they call us disabled? Half the world is not using it. Otherwise, there would be no, the earth would have been a very beautiful place. Yeah? With half the world not using their heads, they are terming us disabled. Yeah. So let's talk about the actual sense of inability, which would be a more practical sense. So when we come to a more practical terminology of inability, it sure talks about the inability to walk. Yep. Or hold, or see, or listen. Yeah. Or talk, or think. Be with me when I'm telling you all these adjectives. Think or read or think like them, or reason like them, or being smart like them, or being normal like them. I believe that the inability to walk is the super ability of using the hands to fence, and we have the superhero here with us. Yeah. The inability to walk is the super ability of using the hands to fence, lift weights beyond measure, lift spirits. Jaita, I salute you. Lifting spirits, you are the reason this is happening. My salutes. Feeling the joyous beauty of movement and transform it to altogether another level. The inability to listen is an opportunity of the superpower to explore the music of our minds and creating magic. The inability to talk is a superpower to give expressions another level of evolution. Do you know about natural languages? What it would sound like if I come to the podium and I say very, very, unpleasing to the ears, right? But in fact, this is natural language. How would a kid respond to you when you come back to him or her, if he or she is, below 3 years old? You say, welcome mama, welcome to the home, yeah? Yeah? Yeah, so that is natural language. If I'm happy to meet you, I would say, ha 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 ha. How many of us do that? We don't do that. In fact, if this was the natural language, we would not need any language. So if it was the language, nobody in this world would have been mute. Yeah. So if we could understand this, we would be speaking like this. Do we need any language? Do we need this exercise of the tongue? We don't need that. You want to greet someone? Ooh, like that. You're angry. You want to discuss some idea? Yeah? What if we know this language and we call mute people disabled? Those who know natural language. The inability to think and read and write. It is a superpower to think alternatively. What is 1 plus 1? 2. When I was in my primary school, before the test, I asked Mama, what is 1 plus 1? She says, you have to add up, it's 2. My mama, what's this? This is a plus. I go, what is plus? So she said, jod dena. In Hindi, jodna means to join as well. Okay. When I saw the board, there were 5 questions written. 1 plus 1 was the first one. Okay, so what I did was, I went to the board, measured the length of the first one, and the second one came together and joined both of them with dots. That was the only question attempted. When the teacher asked, "What have you written, Swapnil?" I explained, this one was alone. And then he met another one who was alone. And then they decided to come together. So she said, why cannot they be aligned? Why are they dots? So I said that, since they have come together, they have to change their being. Of course, I did not say that way, but that is what my explanation was to my teacher. She reported this to my mother. He cannot study in the school. So that is how we thought. So the inability to think and read and write is superpower to think alternatively. Create what has never been created. Give the world your own definition. And invent a whole new language altogether. And it works. Now what we have to do is we have to create platforms for equal learning and opportunities. In the highest grade management exam in India, I got 33 percentile. I could not read numbers, so I left that. DI left that. Only did English. I got 33. Of course, they would not, even welcome me into the gate. I teach there now. I started teaching at the age of 24. I always wanted to become intelligent, just like people, very jargonized language, talking out. We went into that best school, which is in Gujarat. I won't name. When that, started touching the walls, intelligent people touch it. People from Howard and Wharton and, the greatest of the engineers, they touch it. People are talking like standing there. What? Classes are going on, I'm just peeping inside. I wanted to become intelligent, but did not know that, something else was in store. I wanted to go into a concert hall. A professor asked me to stop, show me your ID. I did not have the ID. He told me the greatest lesson of my life. Gentlemen, remember one thing. I thought this is Lord Krishna speaking to Arjun. Yes, sir. Opened all my pores of the body that I have to let the knowledge in. Yes, sir, please tell me. And the professor says only the cream gets to be in the milk, so find your standards and get out. I was in the cream because I was not born in the milk, if you understand. So we have to create platforms where we are not tamed but harnessed. We have to redefine education metrics. Why only by few mathematical and reasoning questions you choose that someone is a good leader or not? How can you determine that? And I challenge each and every education metrics in the world through this stage right now. How can you guarantee that? And that is not inclusive, not at all. And it is a right, as Diego said. We have to promote the usage of alternative intellect. The answers to the most pressing issues might reside in a special mind, who knows? And we have to build a brave new world where the ability to think is infinite, and a world where everyone is a superhuman. Repeat, everyone is a superhuman. All of us. And I'd end this talk. The battles are on right now. This moment. In some school, a rehab center, a hospital, a ramp, or in a lonely room. So sing with me and let's send hope to every superhuman across the world. Will you sing with me? Yes? So let's hum together. For the last 15 seconds, please help me. every superhuman in the world. Thank you.